ask our next guest, Director of Research and Investigations over at Judicial Watch. Let's welcome back to the program. It's been a hot second, Chris Farrell. Hey, Chris, how you been?
Been well. Thank you very much for having me back on.
I'm going to turn to the impeachment that should have started months ago, but now we're on vacation, of course, in a second. But I want to first hit this lawsuit and you guys going after the CIA. Tell us more.
Well, everyone will remember that the 51 phonies, the intelligence officers of different flavors and stripes, all signed off on this letter claiming that the Hunter Biden laptop is disinformation. That entire effort was coordinated and synchronized in part through the CIA. And we're looking to get all the documentation on that to show to what lengths the CIA, not the retired folks who signed off on it, but the existing current employees who helped to circulate the letter, who helped to drive signatures, get folks to get on board. What was the agency itself doing to promote Biden's election over Trump? And there's substantial information there. Listen, every one of those 51 people that signed off should immediately have their security clearances revoked, which would dry up their meal ticket, because I guarantee you 9/10 of them are trading on their former government service and their security clearance in order to get very nicely high-paying government contracting and consultancy.
Oh, of course they are, Chris. You mean like
pull the ticket and dry up that income for them?
Good for you. You mean like the guy who got appointed Secretary of State? Because didn't we hear just a few months back that it was Mr. Blinken, I believe, that helped to facilitate and round up some folks for this letter as well? Because he knew that would help secure him a cabinet spot, didn't he?
That is correct. And so there's signatories to the letter, but there's all these other kind of stray cats and dogs off on the side who were cheering it on, circulating it, promoting it. Look, they had their agenda, and they were willing to lie to get done what they wanted.
Well, and that's why you guys, I love what you're doing over there so many times you guys are filing the Freedom of Information Act request or filing lawsuits to get transparency within our federal government. And I'll tell you, not like we didn't know our government's been doing backdoor stuff for decades, but I think a big part of Americans up until the last few years didn't realize just how bad it is, Chris. And you got to thank Trump for some of that. And then independent journalists like you guys at Judicial Watch and, whether it's a James O'Keefe or a One America News, it's independent people now doing the legwork to get the truth out, because you can't count on mainstream legacy media anymore. They just take whatever the press release says from the Biden regime and read it on TV like it's the gospel.
100% correct. You're right on the nose.
Insane. All right, now let's shift over to the impeachment. What the hell are Republicans waiting for, Chris?
Why did they ever go on recess? Why did the illustrious Speaker of the House set them loose to go home? What's the point? They got more than enough information now to launch an impeachment inquiry. Frankly, they had it months ago.
Thank you.
And, this is another case where McCarthy is looking to clutch defeat from the jaws of victory, right? What else do they need? That phony, Adam Schiff, ran an impeachment of Trump out of the Intelligence Committee, not out of the Judiciary. He held all of his hearings, not all, the vast majority of his hearings, he held in a skiff so that he wouldn't have to tell anybody what he was debriefing people or getting their testimony on. The whole thing was done in secret. Everyone has amnesia over this. And remember that while Schiff was going through that little bit of clown show gamesmanship, Bill Barr, sitting at the Department of Justice, and the FBI were sitting on Hunter Biden's laptop. They had possession of it knew the contents of it while they allowed Trump to be impeached for this, phony phone call routine that Schiff dreamed up.
That's right.
It's insane. One last point. Hunter Biden flew on his dad's Air Force Two plane 411 times.
What?
We have the flight manifests. Of the 411 flights, 26 were overseas. And of those 26 overseas flights, 5 of them were to China. And you're supposed to believe that Joe Biden never discussed business with his son.
My ass. Now, wait a minute. Okay, I didn't see this. 400 flights while Daddy was VP those 8 years.
Yeah.
And how many to China?
Well, 5 to China, 26 overseas. And you're supposed to believe that they never discuss business.
Yeah. The American people aren't buying this garbage anymore. The polls are showing it. People are seeing through this corrupt-ass family, and I hope it continues to take hold through next November. It better. But we know powers that be out there are going to try their damnedest to shut all this information down, just like they did before the last election, but we're going to keep fighting to expose the truth. Chris Farrell, best to you and the whole team over there at Judicial Watch. Thank you, sir.
Thanks very much.
Yep.